Alright, Wi-Fi released a video. The item Elden Ring devs refuse to fix. Let's see what is the video about. I mean, like, I know what is the video about. It's about Taunter's tongue, but let's listen to the opinion of our favorite doll, shall we?
If you're not a big fan of throwing hands with other players in Elden Ring, you may not be aware of the existence of a tiny little item called Taunter's tongue.
Oh,
or
my
maybe
bane.
You probably simply got it from Mad Tongue Alberic. Read the nefarious item description and put it away in the trash can for eons to come.
Okay.
If you fall into this category of human being, let me explain to you how this thing actually works and why it completely ruins multiplayer. Invasions are a mechanic where a random player joins your world with the sole purpose of leaving your butthole red as the Nippon's flag rising sun. If you're particularly one of those gamers that find the company of fellow human beings completely abhorrent, you may have noticed a lack of bad red men attempting to enlarge your poop gate. This is because you cannot get invaded in Elden Ring if you're playing alone. When engaging in multiplayer, though, there are only two ways to get invaded. One is by summoning your best buddies to affront the mighty challenges that the lands between has to offer to you together, and the other one is by using Taunter's tongue. Both of these actions will flag your world with a big neon sign that reads, "Please enter my crib and show me a good time."
Show me a good time, Dad!
Organic invasions without Taunter's tongue will allow only one invader per session, and whenever the invasion ends, a cooldown timer will start ticking. During this timer, your world will be protected from invaders regardless of you strolling alone through the city or hopping like a nymph with a friend. However, if Taunter's tongue is used, things drastically change. Activating the Taunter's tongue will cause two additional things to happen aside from simply flagging your world for invasions. The cooldown timer previously mentioned completely ceases to exist, allowing for a continuous influx of bloodthirsty bad red men.
Such a net. Holy moly, man, what the fuck?
And your world will allow a maximum of 2 invaders if you have another member in your party. This allows the possibility of engaging in 2 versus 2 scenarios, should the host allow so with the use of the tongue. Fight club practices have been a thing in the Souls series for years, with places like the Iron Keep Bridge in Dark Souls 2 and an Orlando in Dark Souls 3 being the most prime example.
Oh my god, I think like Dark Souls 3 purists are going to be so mad he said Anor Londo instead of Pontiff.
Of this activity, possible thanks to the use of dried finger item, which allowed for seamless invasions and a larger player pool. However, unlike those games, Elden Ring allows for a much more disgusting activity.
Yes!
Controlled only by the host of the world. Unlike the dried fingers in previous entries, hosts can deactivate the Taunter's tongue at will and at any point during their gameplay, including when an invader is already present in their world.
Yep. So essentially Taunter's tongue is kind of doing what its name suggests, yeah? It straight up taunts any invaders, making them look like a fool, but it's because the item can be abused.
By doing this, hosts can control the flux of invaders at their will to get constant invasions and seal it once an invader has entered the world, thus preventing them from getting any help and keep the numbers advantage. As if that weren't such a cowardly move already, hosts can also control the location of where the invasion happens, usually choosing a very tight space with no escapes available. Have a co-op buddy who can be max level due to password summoning, and have the White Cipher ring activated to have a constant influx of blue hunters coming to their aid. And I use that term very loosely. If your neurons are still capable of synapse after having rotten your brain with memes for so many years, you may have deduced by now that invaders can be completely overwhelmed by this, having almost no chance of fighting back against so many odds stacked against them, making...
You know what's pretty funny? There is actually sizable amount of players that believe it's actually a good thing that, you know, you, as an invader, you are a pest, a griefer that joins their world to ruin their progress. Therefore, it is actually amazing that you have so many odds stacked against you. Like, they actually see justice in it, which is pretty funny.
making for a very poorly executed experience for both parties. Invasions are supposed to be balanced around the notion that the host being invaded is a random, clueless Kevin and maybe one or two of his buddies, giving the invader less resources to fight with to even the odds against such an unorganized and unprepared group of players. Gankers have been known to take advantage of this in the past, and it wouldn't be much of a deal if it weren't for the tiny little factoid that deactivating Taunter's tongue will ensure that the player invading your world never gets any help at any point. Add to that a controlled environment with no PvE help or available exits, and it's most certainly a death trap from which the invaders can't possibly be expected to.
Tank, Inter NPC someone did a fuck ton of damage here too. Yeah, I mean, like, check out my HP bar, you see? Like, in the top. It is on around 90%. And there is the fart of the Dunk Eater flying towards me. Boom. To the 15%. Just like that.
Death trap from which the invaders can't possibly be expected to get out of. And unlike what you read on Reddit about how invaders like to grief PvE players by simply using an in-game mechanic that is very far from being griefing, as invader can't possibly choose who nor where to exactly invade, and even then they will always have the numeric disadvantage. Camping invaders with a deactivated Taunter's tongue to willingly give yourself as many advantages as possible definitely accounts for griefing. There is no better example of this than one of Steelovsky's recent videos, which has been peeking in the background by now. In this video, we can see Steelovsky, fan of aviation, invading two players in a very cramped space in the dark light category.
Wait, I want to see it again. It was so stupid. What the fuck was that even? Okay. Dude, is that Corky from? It's Corky from League of Legends, no? I fucking can't. That's fucking hilarious. Okay, let's go again. Let's continue.
We can see Steelovsky, fan of aviation, invading two players in a very cramped space in the dark light catacombs, with one end of the room leading to the fog wall in case the host needs to escape, and the other end leading to an elevator with a very long ride. The host had a co-op buddy who was max level, nearly one-shotting Steel with one Ash of War, and had blue summons on for even more aid in battle. Steelovsky invaded these guys again and again and again and again and again and again, dying to them over 20 times as he claims. However, at one point, the host seemingly forgot to deactivate the Taunter's tongue.
Gonna give away certain secret from the behind the scenes. I have no idea how many times I died. I made this title up, you know, at the moment of the upload. So, I mean, like, the number 20, it's like, sounded about right.
Allowing for one extra invader to enter the match and allowing Steel to breathe a bit. And do you know how that turned out? Yep. I'm not surprised either. The two times the host made the mistake of allowing a second invader to show up, they were absolutely demolished by Steel and his teammate. And
I mean, to be fair, that max level Phantom is of course max level Phantom, but the host literally doesn't have like a proper set for the PvP. Like, Gamer can be just cheesed to the oblivion with simply like mashing Shamshir because no 88 poise.
And the moment the host was left in a 1 versus 1 against Steel, his lack of skill became extremely apparent. So if two players of such a low skill can give an experienced player such a brutal run for his money, imagine what would happen to someone who's just getting into invasions and PvP. Trapped in a room with no exit, no help, severely disadvantaged, and getting bullied by two toxic guys. If that doesn't trigger your empathy receptors, imagine it the other way around. Imagine if FromSoft made it possible for you to be constantly invaded by several players at the same time and of a much higher level than you, without the possibility of getting any kind of assistance. It doesn't sound as charming anymore, huh?
It actually, yeah, you kind of have like the system in Dark Souls 2. Like, Dark Souls 2 is kind of, let's call it invader-sided, and yeah, invasions, from my perspective, from the perspective of the invader, it's not only probably not fun for hosts that get embodied, it is literally also not fun for people that invade. And you know what? These gamers that like were bullying me here in that cave, in the dungeon, yeah? I fight them pretty much every single day. They are apparently active. And they are neither sitting anymore on the max level, nor actually like, keeping the Taunter's tongue off. Or like turning it off the moment when, you know, when the invasion happens. So I don't know if that's matter of them like getting bored themselves, but yeah, point that I'm bringing is if I was in position of the host, I think I would get bored of this type of activity real quick, because I don't think there is much of fun, honestly, in beating everyone else just because of the numerical advantages. It sounds extremely fucking boring, honestly.
All of this could be easily prevented if FromSoft simply made it impossible to deactivate Taunter's tongue after using it, unless you sit at a site of grace or something. Our hopium tanks already got drained regarding FromSoft expanding the player limit from 4 to 6, so the only thing they can do is fix the Taunter's tongue by simply changing a 1 to a 0. How hard could that possibly be? The creator of the Seamless Co-op mod recently added an item that does exactly the same thing as the Taunter's tongue, but better.
I mean, not exactly the same.
Because the seamless dried finger only deactivates after the session ends, making invader entrapment completely impossible. In fact, you can even be outnumbered as a host in seamless co-op, because the creator understands that if you're willingly using an item that further increases PvP activity, you probably want to PvP. Regular Elden Ring, on the other hand, gives you all the necessary tools to simply grief people, as Steelovsky stated at the end of his video.
Michael Zaki supports people like this. Existence of this garbage is basically saying, we at From Software made a perfect environment for you to grief other players. Please enjoy. Like, for so many patches, not fucking changing literally griefers tool when people like, for example, that work on seamless co-op made like better solution within 30 minutes. Like, fuck you, honestly.
If the creator of a mod could do a better job than a professional company in only 30 minutes, said company is either completely incompetent or purposely malicious. There's absolutely no in-betweens, and that's actually pretty fucking sad. Given the amount of patches we've been through already, and the amount of videos covering how horrendously implemented Taunter's tongue is, it's safe to assume that they are intentionally keeping it this way. We don't know why, but it would seem that FromSoft is okay with players having the possibility of griefing others. As long as they're not red, of course, because they certainly discarded soul memory from Dark Souls 2. And it would seem that the only features that are not discarded in FromSoft are the ones that can be used to grief invaders. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this issue for a while, little tortilla. That's about it. Bye.
Good ending, not gonna lie. Plenty of hours ago, I have watched this video of ONLYWAIFU'S, yeah, but ever since that time, we got plenty of interesting comments, so I want to go through all of them. Like, there's actually, waifu sent me so many of these. It's actually hilarious, so hey. We're gonna go through pretty much every single of them, at least the ones that are interesting. Most invaders are nerds who have no friends, so they take it out on everyone else. I'm glad that Taunter's tongue can be abused. Gankers are heroes. PvP should be removed. Okay, L video. Insane. So in a nutshell, save the bad red man. He is getting bullied. Don't make me laugh. Invaders disgust me because most of them are twinkling fresh players. I am mean. Let me get your runes or quit out like a baby. Like, the worst thing is though, the Taunter's tongue changes do not really change much in regards of twinks, because you are going to murder the host if you want to do it optimally very quickly anyway. So like, I don't know, man. Just lack of understanding of the problem, I guess. But like, instead of going back in over and over, why didn't he just stop invading or choose a different location on the map to invade? Because he bases his entire self-worth on the amount of invasions he can win. Wait, I mean, this is about me, yeah? And continuously invading the gankers. How does that make sense when I had very little chance of winning? Like, wouldn't that make more sense in such case to just not invade them and just invade like people organically instead, like other people that going through the game because he was creating content for his channel and pretending to be a victim. The first part is true. The second part, like, this guy is fucking stupid as shit. Am I the victim? I'm just showing, like, there is a stupid part of the game called Taunter. One word, Colosseum, okay? One word, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. That's not one word, now when I think about it. Okay. Anyway, what advantage? How do you camp at Thunderstone? You clearly don't know what you're talking about here. I can be invaded as long as I am using the finger remedy. That's what activates the multiplayer. It's literally not fucking true. If I have already been invaded by 2 players and I deactivate the tongue, it doesn't matter. I have already been invaded by 2 players. If I turn it off after getting invaded by 1, the only thing I have done is sped up my encounter rate. Invaders are not harmed by enemies on the landscape, so just like I can dictate the battlefield by choosing to hang around in an area, you can pull into an area where there is enemies that can kill me. The fuck he's talking about? Not only is what you are saying inflammatory and nonsense. Holy shit, Broski wasn't watching the video. He was looking into mirror. You don't even understand how the multiplayer works. What are you doing? What the fuck? How can you be so confident in what you are saying when you're so... By the way. Oh my god, like this video is fucking mine of amazing comments. Griefing invaders is morally right. Invaders do nothing but seek advantage. Maybe it will push the red cowards into duels, which is exactly the PvP mode for fair matchups. Cope away. I wonder why invaders have to seek an advantage. Like, people do not understand an idea of asymmetric PvP, and a lot of people, for example, play shit like Dead by Daylight, for one. So, I am just surprised, honestly. Like, people do not understand the concept. Still crying? It's not that bad. Yeah, it is that bad. Super disingenuous, lol. Yes, it puts the invaders on an almost unconquerable disadvantage, but anyone PvPing in the Souls games isn't some like an esports fanatic who just wants some good competition. If you are invading, you are absolutely trying to grief people, and this just gives way to grief the griefers. Fine as it is. Holy shit. Retardation at its finest. Okay, I think it's less an item problem and more of a problem of PvP in general. Everyone acts like it's some fun and engaging experience, but I generally don't ever co-op someone as a host because it's not fun or engaging. I am here to kill immoral gods, not so immortal, my bad, not immoral. Close enough though. Not someone who has learned every counter to everything and just wants to ruin experiences. Honestly, I just don't think PvP works at all in FromSoft games. It's always proven to be an annoyance for most players. Jesus fucking Christ. This is actually ridiculous. The guy thinks he's the entire world. The guy thinks that he has... His opinion is just the omnipotent, dude. He doesn't like PvP, therefore like PvP bad. Learn the stuff from the game, you must be ruining experience, dude. Holy shit, true. You actually took your time to be decent at the game. You are fucking disgusting, man. And that's funny, like the guy is saying, I'm here to kill immortal gods, dude. And like he's like, you know, he has no problem facing immortal gods, but he has a problem facing one bad red man, I guess. How exactly hosts using in-game mechanics is griefing and invaders cheating, healing items, consumables, or golem arrows is not. Invasion can be griefing even if not intended, like teleporting to hosts through cheats to save time. Kurwa, I have a... Okay, so first of all, invaders cheating, killing items, consumables, or golem arrows is not. Honestly, it's like this guy is clearly a dumbass, but it's actually a good argument though. Is usage of items, like spawned items through the cheat engine or through the duping, actually like, is it like griefing? Like, technically, no, because griefing means when you're actually deliberately annoying other players in game. Griefing, essentially, it would be, in case if you would, for example, clone items for the sake of, to just ruin others people's experience, but Invaders doing that for the sake of to just like save time. So yeah, it's definitely not griefing. Is it cheating though? Yeah, I mean, like, if you are using cheat engine, yeah, if you are duplicating items, technically, yes, but you're kind of cheating on PvE, not on the other players. So I don't know, like, actually it's a good discussion overall, if that's like a moral or not. Doesn't matter though, because pretty much everyone is doing it. Co-opers, PvP pairs, like people that do not duplicate stuff are mostly people that just going through the game, didn't finish it yet. Invasions can be griefing even if not intended, like teleporting to hosts through cheats to save time, or my favorite is to exploit game like chainsaw glitch some time back, cause you decide host playstyle is bad. Mage build or that dragon roar thingy, really don't understand this invader high horse. I mean, like, I am not sure what the fuck the guy is on. Yes, those are like things that he lists might be like upsetting, yeah, just some people, invaders included, can be assholes towards you, but the problem with the Taunter Stone is different. It's just ultimately an item, a system created by creators of the game that is literally griefers friendly, and that's why it's bad. Really don't understand Invaders High Horse. People were complaining what they want co-op PvE experience in Elden Ring launch, but fuck them, game is intended to be played your way, but not this part of the game. Apparently it has to change. Kurwa, I need to read it again. People were complaining what they want co-op PvE experience. Launch to fuck them. Game is intended to be played your way. People were complaining what they want co-op PvE experience. Does anyone understand it? Can I get yes or no in chat? Do you understand do you understand the context of the last sentence? People were complaining what they want co-op PvE experiences Elden Ring launch, but fuck them. Game is intended to be played your way, but not this part of the game. Apparently it has to change. So that what's supposed to be? We're complaining that they want co-op PvE experience since Elden Ring launch. I think they meant co-op only, maybe. But it is not co-op only. You still have invasions and stuff, like, so people didn't get... Of course, yeah, there is like so many people that wanted invasions out of the game, and thankfully FromSoft doesn't listen to idiots that just gonna play through the game and then never come back to it. Like, PvP is very important to create, like, what people just don't understand is that PvP is important for Souls games to create just infinite loop of content, infinite loop of the gameplay. Like, this is like, the infinite gameplay loops are important, man. And Elden Ring doesn't have them unless you are either modding your game or that's it, honestly. I don't think of any other like infinite gameplay loop when it comes to Elden Ring. Like PvP, like encounters, PvP encounters are the only one. Well, technically co-op also can be, yeah? But squad of co-opers still fighting PvE. That is predictable and pretty much always function in the same way. So yeah, like PvP is, for these games' sake of longevity, very important. I wanted to play PvP invading, but it's almost impossible to get victory invading if you are new in invasions. It's always 1v2 or 1v3 situations with a half of Crimson Tears, and there is absolutely no reward for invade. Holy shit, I'm so sorry, my dude. Like, Waifu says that poor guy, seriously not being sarcastic, and yeah, I agree. Like, imagine actually being new to the Souls games overall and actually just wanting to play the game. Like, try that mechanic where you're Red Badman. God damn it. Makes me want to find this comment and send him heart, honestly. Can we do that? Let's try to do it. Let's just spread the love to the guy. Here you go. I'm sending you the hyperlink to this comment here. 12 likes already. Nice. Alright. Lol, it's the host world. Even Mizuki said the game does not lean into invasions. Invasions are a gimmick to give the PvP players something to do with their hands. There are no advantages to holy fuck subs. Alright, I have no idea where Miyazaki said such a thing. I mean, it's true that, like, you know, the game doesn't lean to the invasions, and it never should. still, it's just part of the game, not a gimmick. If you are the invader, you are not the hero in the host world. It's not your game world. You are a guest in the host house. That being said, once the tongue is active, it should stay active. But the way people are using it is purposely malicious. So the guy agrees. The Taunter's tongue is supposed to be changed. It's the only point of the video. But this guy decided that he is going to bring the well-known superstar from Japan known as Miyazaki. And his quote about the game not leaning towards invasion. Like, he made this up. This is the best thing. Like, he literally, dude, made this shit up. Like, he made an entire paragraph about something that he just made up. Oh, okay, that was the last comment. Like, the worst thing is that, man, for vast majority of these people, the change to the Taunter's tongue wouldn't fucking do anything. Because, like, these people are not saying that, oh, fuck off, I am a ganker and I love abusing Taunter's tongue. It wouldn't change shit. Everything that it would do is just make the game for people that actively want to PvP more engaging. Ah, this is hilarious.